Yes! Alrighty! What's up, everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Taco Tuesday evening video. And it's Tuesday night. You know what that means. We got NXT coming up next on the CW11 at the top of the hour. Should be a pretty good show. This is the go-home show before this Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. on the CW11 Heat Wave from somewhere in Texas. Yep! Gonna scare them Cowboys on Sunday. And not in a good way from Dallas either, so it is what it is. But it is the go-home show tonight for NXT. Like I said, Heat Wave on Sunday afternoon. We got an NXT World Title Summit between my cousin Tony D, Mike Santana, Zila Fatu, and I Did It, Grayson Waller. We got that. And a few other things we gotta discuss the issues on this week on NXT. Should be the preview kind of looks ass, but what are you gonna do? But we move on. I think next week's show is taped, so I think they're taping 2 episodes this week, because next week is, well, I don't know, because next week is the September 1st show, September 1st, I should say, I think is the aftermath of Heat Wave, so I think the only live show WWE's doing next week is pretty much NXT, because Raw and SmackDown pretty much been taped, SmackDown has been taped. Friday they're taping Raw for this Monday, and SmackDown for next week. Which is kind of weird, but okay, we got that. But let me move on with that. But anyway, so we got NXT coming up at the top of the hour. But thank you all for watching on your Tuesday right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, now, and in the future, coming over on all my channels and all my videos. But all these stupid comments you get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten with a barbed wire baseball bat, and Ozzy and Satan will come out and laugh at you and then eat your soul. So don't do it. Go somewhere else to do that shit. Because I pretty much don't care what you say anyway. So, we move on with that. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you do, you're SOL. You better know what that means by now. And if you don't know, well, you're still SOL. So that's pretty much it. And for brand newbies out there, because we are still very close to 1,300 subscribers on this very channel. Hopefully hit it by the weekend. Because I like to hit it, if we could hit it by the weekend, that'd be great. And maybe we'll get to 1,300 over on the main channel. Kill Demon 669. We're about 30 some odd away, almost about 30, 39, somewhere around there. Let's just say under 40 away from 1,300. Hopefully we'll hit that maybe by Labor Day, maybe after Labor Day as we're going through September. But we could get to 1,300 on this very channel, right, by this weekend, or at least by Labor Day weekend, by Labor Day. It'll be great. So, if you haven't subscribed, do it now. Now, Winswin. Now. So that's pretty much it. But if you haven't subscribed, do it. But when you do subscribe, as we say in the business, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, and grab the nice, big, tasty, cold one. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. And if you like it, good. You don't? That's bad. And if you don't like it, too bad. Ha! That's pretty much it. Moving on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hope you had a great Tuesday. I had a pretty damn good day. Got a lot of good shit done. Now I'm getting ready for NXT to see my cousin, Tony D. And, that's pretty much it. Alright, but speaking of this week's NXT, we're going to talk about last week's NXT. And it is time for your really, really late and so far out of date NXT review for last week. Given on what date it is. From last week, August the 18th, 2026. You're watching this on August 25th, 2026. I forgot to mention the date today, but we got that. Alright, so we're pretty much 6 days away from the end of this month, and we start the countdown to Labor Day weekend, which is next weekend, and the start of September. And football season coming up 2 weeks from Thursday. Yay! And by the way, Jed York, you're still a fucking prick. But we move on with that. Alright, let's get to NXT real quick, and I'm done. Alright, so NXT gearing up for Heat Wave. Like I said, this coming Saturday. Zilla Fatu in the house on the show. We're going to talk about that. Talk about the North American title and the tag team title situation. And a whole lot more on NXT. So as always on Tuesday nights, we are emanating from the parking lot inside Nickelodeon Studios at the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. Alright, as always, our commentary team, the man with a creepy jacket, lots of candy that he doesn't put on the table anymore. He listens. Thank you, Vic. You listen and you follow me on Twitter. Good man. Vic Joseph, the man, and another guy who follows me on Twitter, and that's the two-time Hall of Famer, the man who smokes more weed than you do. Does a mean spinning Rooney. He's Black Snow, otherwise known as Booker T, sucker! Oh yeah, man! The sick man himself. Oh yeah! Okay, calm down. Calm down, Booker T, calm down! You bastard. Moving on. Alright, then we got them on the commentary desk. Look at that. Alright, so we start off with a recap at last week's number one contenders match where we saw, was it Mike Santana and he did it, Grayson Waller fight to see who faces Tony D at Heatwave. Well, that ended with Zilla Fatu Yamin. Well, not Yamin. Zilla, the main man, Zilla, making his NXT and WWE debut, taking out Mike Santana and Grayson Waller. So, in turn, that should make Mike Santana the number one contender, right? Wrong. As Zilla attacked him first, because that's not how it works here. Even though he won by DQ, but, no contests don't count, so we got that. So that brings out Mike Santana. So I don't like saying Cruz Montana, because it's Mike Santana, which is his real name, even though I think it's Mark Santana, whatever it is. But anyway, so Mike comes out, big ovation, and right away he's like, Zilla, get your ass out here right now. Well, before he comes out, and then Zilla comes out looking like The Rock. Circa 1998 Rock with that nice Rock shirt. You gotta love that. That marked out for that. Anyway. So, talks about wanting the NXT title. And Zilla's like, well, I'm not stopping you from getting the goddamn title. And then of all people, Dragon Lee Phoenix. Like, what are you doing here? So he's like, well, I'm ready to defend the Triple A Cruiserweight title. Of course, we got a fatal 4-way match coming up next to determine his opponent. And pretty much he's glad to see Mike Santana, because they had history before. If you follow Lucha, well, not Lucha Underground, but, the Lucha Brothers LAX Wars they had in TNA. I think in AEW as well. I could be wrong, but I think they had one or two. One more. But anyway. So Mike says, well, we faced each other before, and this is your ring now. Well, I guess you want to talk, so get it, whatever. Well, Zilla's not there. He didn't come out. I'm sorry. Zilla was basically nowhere to be found. So Mike's like, well, I'm going to wait for Zilla in the parking lot. Oh, the dreaded parking lot. You gotta love that. That parking lot has more chaos than fucking a Jerry Springer episode. I don't know, but it's crazy out there, and it's very dangerous. So, if you go to NXT, and you're at the Capitol Wrestling Center, or you're at the Performance Center, be careful when you go inside the parking lot. Parking the car, getting out the car, getting into the car, and even getting into Full Sail, or even getting into the Capitol Wrestling Center. Be careful out there. That's pretty much it. Alright, then we get to this fatal 4-way match for a shot at Rey Fenix and his Triple R Cruiserweight title tonight, really. So we have E.K. Prosper, or Eli Knight. We have the Resident Painter. We saw him at LFG after watching. I'm watching last week's episode now. I had to rewatch because I missed the ending. So anyway, this was a double show. This week's another double show because they want to get this season down out of here. So I think it ends this week, or I don't know when it ends. We got like 20-something episodes this season. Shit. Anyway, so we had the Resident Painter, Romeo Menino. We had La Parka, who lost to Mr. Pentagon on Monday Night Raw last night in the world title tournament to see who loses to Roman. And Penta won. He's going to be facing his brother Rey Fenix in the finals. I think we all knew that. But anyway, I think Ray stayed at ringside, or he was just there to watch. We went back. I don't know where he went. But anyway, we move on. So he takes on. So it's E.K. Prosper, Romano Menino, La Parka, and my good buddy follows me on Twitter. Order! And that's Kristen Angels. Good man. And that's it. 10.5 minutes, just under 10.5 minutes. Lots of high flippy dippity doos from Romeo and EK. Tristan, being a heel and being, the man that he is. Did a lot of stuff. So we get into the end. The Parker catches Romeo on top with a super Spanish fly that made Joe Maximo very happy, man. Because that's my mentor. But EK with an Eddie Galeno like frog splash. I got one, Eddie? Nah, not really. Okay. Do it better than EK, maybe Eddie will praise you. I never praise anybody who does my move. Not even your son? Or except my son. My son does it perfectly. That's not my son. Well, your son does it great too. But you're the best at the frog splash. Well, thank you very much, Jesse. Okay. I gotta go. I gotta wine and dine China. So I gotta go. Adios, everybody. Adios. Okay, get out of here. Crazy man he is. What? No, nothing. I didn't make fun of him. Stop it. Go make my dinner. What are you going to she got against Eddie? I don't know. Anyway, but alright, so Super Spanish Fly, EK comes off the top with a frog splash for the save. They get back up, the Parker with a suplex onto Romeo in the corner. Ow! And then Booker's trying to say this is the same La Parka from WCW, right? Oh, you know all about him, right there, Booker? Mm-hmm. The many wars you had with that guy. That guy was like, fat! This La Parka is the third generation La Parka, and he's pretty skinny and more athletic than the original La Parka, who's still a legend. Just saying. And actually, there's 4 La Parkas if you count DDP. Remember DDP dressed up as La Parka and fucked Macho Man Randy Savage up? You remember that, Randy, right? I don't remember any of that. I wasn't there, and that never happened. Ooh, yeah, did it. Right, Miss Elizabeth? That's right, Randy. Liz, are you? He told me to say it. Okay. Okay, Liz, thank you. And you look great tonight, by the way. Ah, thank you, Mr. Joseph. You look awesome, too. Did somebody say awesome? Oh, no, Mike. What do you want now, Mike? Somebody said my name. Well, Miss Elizabeth said your name. Hi, Liz. How you doing? Hi, Mr. Awesome. Oh, great. Stop looking at her, Mike. Awesome. I'll drop an elbow down on your head. Hey, you shut up, Randy Savage. I'll drop an elbow on your head, and then I'm gonna awesome bomb you through a flaming table. So I'm the Macho Man. You're nothing. Hey, Mike, calm down, all right? You were a Macho Man when you did that 70s gimmick. Remember that? Oh, yeah, that was a good gimmick, right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, can I get back to the video, please? Thank you. Yeah, say goodbye, Randy. Ooh, yeah, goodbye. Okay. Liz, you want to say goodbye? Bye, everybody. Okay. Thank you. Mike, say goodbye. Now. Oh, I'm sorry. Goodbye. Bye, everybody. Bye, Nick, you piece of crap. Who's Nick? Isn't that your friend? No. I don't know that guy. I don't know who that guy is. Who is that guy? I kid. Anyway. Thank you, Mike. Get out of here. We'll talk later. Bye! Okay. Get out of here. Alright, so, anyway. Where was I? Alright, so, Booker tried, talk about La Parka from WCW circa 1994, 95, or whatever. And then EK gets back in, takes everybody out, and hits one hell of a moonsault on Romeo Moreno. 1, 2, 3, so tonight we get EK Prosper and Rey Fenix for the Triple A Cruiserweight title. Should be a high-flying match. And we'll see what happens with that. If they could do tonight what Rey Fenix and Dragon Lee did last night, woo! That was an amazing match. For two guys that we don't really know which one's which. Rey Dragon Lee Fenix and Dragon Rey Lee Fenix. Good match, though. Good match. Let me move on. Alright, after the match, EK and Rey have a stare down. Then a code of honor. You love to see that too. But I want to stare down. And Hulk Hogan, brother, Hulk Hogan. Their little handshake to Macho Man, oh yeah, brother. Okay, that time. All right. After that, we get the Vanity Project. Oh, these guys, the former tag team champions, Brad Baylor, Ricky Smokes, along with Jackson Drake and Micah Lockwood, or Bailey Humphries, whatever you want to call it. Basically, the men want to take care of the injured NXT Women's Champion, Kendall Gray. Right. She's not impressed. I am not impressed with you babies here, Skywalker. Anyway, she's not impressed. And then my girl, Maddie Winkowski, didn't really think of them much either because, Maddie's got class. But anyway, so they leave with their belts because, Maddie still has the speed title. And then, Micah Lockwood just says, go prove them wrong, or something like that. I'm surprised, Micah didn't, do anything. I mean, she's big, she's bad, she'll probably body slam your dad like Mason Rookwood. Who knows? But, I'm like, why didn't you, get in Kendall or Maddie's face or something like that? Kind of felt that was a missed opportunity, maybe. But, yeah, we'll see. Alright, after that, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. And the four-way, I gave 3.5 out of 5 stars. The Mike Santana segment with Rey Fenix, 3.25 out of 5 stars. We move on. Alright, women's action now. We got Natalya, or Natty, along with her besties, and that's Nikita Lyons and I think it was Layla Diggs or Karen Petrovic. Well, one of them was there. Anyway, she takes on Thea Hale, the resident crazy girl, along with her bestie, Jada. Ms. Parker! Ms. Parker! Okay. Yeah, OTM shows up last night. Where was Jada Parker? Is Jada coming up to Raw to be with her boyfriend, Jay Uso? We saw Lola Vice vignette promo, not a promo, a vignette. She's gonna debut in Mexico on the Mexico show, September 14th. And there's a possibility that Poppy Priest, there's another rumor that he's gonna be released, I hope not, along with Mello, was Bayley re-signed. She was on that list too. Well, Bayley's not going anywhere. Sorry for you, Mercedes Moné, and for us too. We thought that she was going to AEW. But I guess she's coming back to beat the shit out of Lyra Valkyria. But that's pretty much it. So, Johnny Gargano, bye-bye, so long, farewell to you. That's the only person I see going from that in. There was like 4 or 5 people, and Gargano was one of them, probably Candice too. Bye-bye, so long, farewell to you. We'll see you in December. Because if they have 90-day non-compete clauses, do the math. We'll see him at probably World's End. So I think Ciampa and Gargano DIY is going to probably reunite and reform by the time the end of the year is out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them against the Bucks. And by the way, the Bucks, I read that this might be their final contract. Oh, that would be a big hit for AEW if they go bye-bye. And Kenny's the only one left of the Elite. Kenny is going to fight until he can't fight no more. Hangman, I think his contract ends next year. So, I think the Bucks will stay in AEW as like coaches or something like that, or backstage people. But as far as wrestling, this is their final contract. Probably be their final contract. I mean, they're getting up there in age. They're in their mid-30s right now. So the middle-aged Bucks, with old man Kenny and old man Hangman, who have kids. They all have kids except for Kenny, as far as I know. Gonna be, might not be wrestling into their 40s. Who knows? But anyway, we get that. Alright, so Natty and Thea was a decent match. Ends with Thea's running flippy, dippity-doo neck breaker. Gets in the fall. Grabs the Kimura lock. That gets broken up easily. And then Natty put Thea in the sharpshooter. And Thea Hale tapped out in just under 8.5 minutes. And that's pretty much it. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars. After the match, Nikita Lyons and Carmen, they hold Jada back while Natty puts on the sharpshooter again on Thea Hale. So, I don't know if they're going to get a third person, maybe a 6-woman tag. I don't know. We get that. Alright. Lucian Price of OTM is going after the Speed title with Mr. Lexus King. He's going to do it on his own. And Bronco Nima, he's like, well, okay. I'm cool with that. Yeah. Were you cool with getting your ass handed to you last Saturday night by the rest of Perro del Mal? I don't think so. And now you're hanging out with your good buddy, Royce Keys. How did that come about? I don't know. Because the ending of Raw was just like, what? What the hell is going on? I mean, they're beating up Solo. I mean, Royce is destroying Solo. He destroyed the Usos, and then he destroyed Eli Drake. I'm like, what? What's going on here? I'm like, I understand, like, Royce was mad at Solo because Solo got the fuck beat out of him by Jacob. Or Jacob wasn't even there. He was just like, I'm staying backstage, I ain't doing shit. And then Royce was in that feud with Solo against the Usos. You bring in Eli Drake, and now I'm like, why did you beat up Eli Drake then? Just for shits and giggles? I don't want to be a dominant faction now. I don't know what they're going to be called, but it kind of felt weird. And then Roman's coming back Monday. Now what's going to happen? We have all these people going crazy. Roman's got to worry about Eli. I mean, if he can trust Jacob, I don't know what's going on with Jacob. I mean, he's like, oh, Roman told me just to stand down, so I stand down, did nothing while he got his ass kicked by Eli. You just stand there. I don't give a shit if my tribal chief told me to stand in the corner and just watch and not do anything. If my tribal chief's getting beat up, I'm gonna save the guy. I don't give a fuck what he says. I told you to stand up. You were getting hurt. What do you want me to do? Just look at you getting your ass kicked? God forbid you get injured? Then it's my fault? I mean, come on, man. I mean, you're my tribal chief and I'll always acknowledge it, but I gotta save you once in a while. Especially from a schmuck like Eli. Or Solo. Well, Solo doing the Matrix shit, that was funny. That was hilarious. Pew pew blah, do the Matrix. He's the one. The one? The one in 21 and 1? No, that's Brock Lesnar. We got that. Alright, so see if Lucian Price can beat Lexis King, become the new Speed Champion. So we get to that match. 5-minute time limit, as always, in Speed Championship matches. We have the rest of Birthmark at, were they at ringside? I don't think they were. Yeah, I think they were at ringside. They offer a distraction near the end of the match. Lucian gets taken down behind the referee's back. Lexis hits the coronation with 24 seconds left to retain the Speed Championship. Did I care? No. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. And then after the match, they go after Lucian Price, but then Bronco Nima comes out for the save. So I don't know what's going to happen tonight, since OTM destroyed everybody last night. And we'll get that. Alright, moving on. Alright, then it's time for I Did It. Grayson Waller comes out, got another mean old promo, asking people to stop, has been asking people to stop him, and now Zila Fatu debuted last week. And he's like, I'm not scared of you, Zila, or your family, because I'm from Australia, mate, and we've been fighting Samoans all my life. What? When did Australia and Samoa ever have a war or something like that? Kind of weird. Okay. And then he's like, oh, thankfully you're here. You know, you have the ankle monitor. You took off the ankle monitor. You can run free. And then Grayson thinks he's the number 1 contender. That's it. Hold on, guys. I got right back. All right, we're back. My motion sensor was going weird, going haywire. I don't know why. We're going boop, boop, boop. Anyway. Alright, so Grayson thinks he's the number 1 contender. That brings out my cousin Tony D'Angelo, who, well, he's busy right now getting ready for the summit, but, you know, he's my cousin. And he had Salvatore cook me and the missus some great chicken parmesan and pasta. We're gonna have that in a little bit. And I only had to pay $2. You would have to pay $14 to $20 for that shit at a local restaurant, because you don't have a cousin like my cousin Tony D. Ha ha, ha ha. You know. Anyway, so Tony D comes out. She's like, I'm fine with taking you out next. And then Mike Santana comes out. Was in the crowd, and he's like, I never found Zila, but I remember taking you out last week there, Grayson, and I'm willing to take all 3 of you out, one after another. But then Robbie E comes out, makes a triple threat match for the title at Heatwave, and he's going to deal with Zila when he arrives to the arena. So you know what that means. Triple threat will become a 4-way. Obviously. Which it does. So we got that. Yeah. Alright, so 3 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, we're back. My good buddy follows me on Twitter, Shiloh Hill, and the resident rocker chick, Lizzie Rain, to talk about next week's Triple A Cruiserweight title match with EK Prosper and Ray Phoenix. And pretty much both of them think that EK has a good chance to win the title. Maybe. And then Lizzie goes on a rant about Kaylee Armstrong, I guess, attacking her or something. And then Miles will call him Ozzy Osbourne, the North American champion. He comes in, gets right to the point, and he says, if you beat Jackson Drake, you can have a North American title match at Heatwave. Shiloh approves that. And then Boog's like, champions do that. Didn't you do the same thing for Rick Martel back in 98 on WCW Nitro? Somebody had a brain fart. Booker T, oh, Booker T had a brain fart, oh yeah. Oh yeah, man, Booker T, Black Snow, brain fart. Alright, then we have Robbie E on the phone with Zila. And Zila says, I'll be there in 30 minutes or less. It's like Domino's almost. But anyway, that out of the way, he finds Kiana Carver in his office, and he wants in the NXT title picture. Well, Robbie's like, well, you're going to have to earn that. Like Smith Barney, we earn it. But for now, he's like, drink your damn coffee. Or something like that. He's like, drink your damn coffee. Drink the coffee. Oh, shit. And then Cam Hendricks, Mr. Maxine Dupree, Mr. Dupree, or soon to be Mr. Ex-husband to Maxine Dupree, he comes in, and Callan's like, fuck, and he left. I want to drink my goddamn tea! Okay, go ahead, drink your goddamn tea. That was a weird segment, but anyway. 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then it's time for a women's tag team match. We have the NXT Women's Champion Kendall Gray and the Speed Champion Maddie Vankowski taking on Mrs. Kaylani Jordan and Kaylee Armstrong. This was pretty decent. We're getting to the end, 10.5 minute match. We're getting to the end, Maddie comes back in, takes over on Kaylani, who grabs a slingshot giddy kata! Bang! That's 1,000. I'm charging people now to use any version of the Gilly Cutter. I don't give a fuck. So anyway, Kaylee tags herself back in, gets caught in the final wrench. That's that last chancery. That gets broken up. Kendall is kicked in her ear. Actually, he's kicked ear first. Ow! Into the ring steps, because she still has that injury from when, she got dropped on her head by Lola Vice a couple weeks ago. Then Kaylee hits the power slam into the Kaylee connection on my poor friend Maddie Winkowski. 10.5 minute match. Kaylee and Kaylani get the win in a decent match, 3 out of 5 stars, and that's it, my friends. Alright, then we have a sit-down interview in separate locations with the stripper man himself, Saquon Sugars, and the so-called leader of Dark State, or Deuces and Jokers, Dion Lennox. They argue. Then they agree on a cage match, but Dion's like, no, let's weaponize the cage. So that's going to happen tonight. That might actually start the show tonight from what I heard. So we're getting violent tonight, and we love violence. We don't condone it. We love it like chaos. We embrace it, and we enjoy it. We don't condone chaos, but we love it. Absolutely. And that's that. Alright, then we get to Shiloh and Jackson Drake. Shot at the North American title at Heatwave, and the Vanity Project might get a tag team title shot as well against Miles and Tavion Heights. Alright, so Vanity Project and Micah Lockwood are, as always, out with Jackson Drake. And it goes back and forth. And getting to the end, the Vanity Project get ejected. You guys are out of here. They kick him out, but that takes so long. Shiloh dives onto them, and then inside the ring we get a rep bump, and then Shiloh goes up top, I think looking for some type of move, and out of nowhere, I think he was underneath the ring, Evil, or Vile, whatever you want to call him, he's on the apron and then blows the red mist that Shiloh has been talking about over the last couple weeks, blows it right in his face, knocks him down, and then JD Drake, Jesus Christ, Jackson Drake hits a 450 splash, 1, 2, 3, damn it. So Jackson Drake will take on Miles Osborne for the North American title at Heatwave, and Miles has to do double duty because he has to take on Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes. So Tavion, well, you might have a not so 100%, partner there, dude. So we'll see what happens with that. So match was decent, 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we have Delta ready to unify the women's speed title and the women's North American titles at Heatwave against Maddie. Kaylee Armstrong comes in, calls Zarya a red-headed heifer. Damn! And then we get a match tonight. That's going to be freaking epic. With the Heatwave title. Sorry. I read that wrong. With the Heatwave title match becoming a triple threat if Kaylee wins. that might be actually some interesting shit. Though tonight, big, beefy women slapping me. Can't wait for that. We move on. Alright, then we get a look at CM Punk at the NXT House Show last week, which got a lot of drama with Punk and Grayson Waller arguing in the fucking back. Because, as always, Punk goes to a house show where he has to do something stupid, opens his big mouth. Oh, I'm not about the drama anymore. Right. Right there, Phil. You're a fucking hypocrite. And then he goes out on a house show and wears EO's fucking robe. I swear she told me, I had to disinfect it 300 times because it smells so bad. Yeah, because Phil doesn't take showers at all. I mean, come on. Don't ever do that again, Phil. If I see you do that again, I will fucking fly to whatever arena you're at next. I will fuck you up, Phil. Don't ever do that to my woman. Don't disrespect EO. Nobody disrespects EO. Not even my woman. Fuck. Shut up. Shut up or I'll disrespect that. Mm-hmm. Alright, then we're going to look at what's coming up this week. Which I got to put on the show because we're about to start. Put on the show. Shut off the thing. Okay. Alright, we're about to start NXT. And that's it. Alright, so after the what's coming this week stuff, Robbie E is in the ring, brings in Ziggler to sign his NXT contract. Ziggler comes out like The Rock, one of those Rock shirts. And then my cousin, Tony D'Angelo, he's on the platform, the balcony. Ziggler says, I'm glad to be in the biggest wrestling company in the world. And then we get a, ooh, maga, chant. We haven't seen that before. So, Umaga is Ziggler's daddy. So we got the chant. So Ziggler's like, I'm here to show everybody that I'm just not another, I guess he said Nepo baby. Even though he kind of said Nympho. That kind of be weird too. Anyway. So he says, last week I made some people mad, and that's going to keep happening every single week. And then, he did it. Grayson Waller and Mike Santana, they come out. Robbie E says, the contract makes Jacob's first NXT match a title match, and that's going to happen at Heat Wave with a fatal 4-way match. And then Ziggler signs. We got a lot of yelling, no physicality, and that's it. Yeah, so we're going to start it with the weapons cage match between Saquon Sugars and Dion. Probably gonna be barbaric. I do see Cutler James and Osiris Griffin getting involved. I don't know if anybody's gonna help out Saquon, but we got what kind of weapons we got here. We got kendo sticks. We got trash cans. A whole bunch of weapons. Chairs, tables, maybe. Damn, we got that. Alright, so that pretty much ends NXT. So Ziggler comes out, signs his contract, and gets into the, what was a triple threat match for Tony's title at Heatwave. Now it's a 4-way. So now, my cousin's chances of retaining the title go way down to 25%. And I'm not going to do Steiner math. So, I don't know if my cousin's going to retain. I don't know. I think they're going to give it to Mike Santana. I wouldn't be shocked if they give it to Ziggler. They give it to Grayson. That's just like, yeah, a few years too late. But I think it's between Mike Santana and Ziggler to win the title. Or, by some Italian miracle, my cousin retains the title. But I'm hoping he does. But, there's that 25% chance that he's going to lose the title to Santana or Ziggler. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright, someone's getting dark now. It's 8:03 p.m. here in the Northeast. So probably be getting dark in about the next 5 to 10 minutes. So about 8:10, 8:15, it gets dark here. So happy Tuesday night to everybody. Taco Tuesday night. Hope you're having a taco or an empanada tonight. We're having, as I said, chicken parm and pasta from my cousin. And we got that. Alright, I guess this is going to be, what's a weapons cage. So, obviously, no DQ, and you don't have to escape the cage, and so I think it's pinfall submission in the cage. We got chairs, candlesticks. I think we got a pipe. Got a few weapons there. Well, the usual. Yeah, but we got a table there. Tables, housing chairs. Well, we don't have a ladder yet, but it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be barbaric. I feel bad for the referee, but it is what it is. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am out of here. NXT last week, I thought it was pretty decent. 7 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you people thought of the show down below in the comment section. Like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's pretty much it. Alright, I'm out of here, guys. I will be back after NXT with your Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor review. Might get to AEW Dynamite Collision from last week. We're going to talk about that. Because Dynamite is tomorrow from Glasgow, Scotland, love. That's taped, by the way. Because it's going to be taped like at 2, 3 o'clock. But we're going to see it at 8 on TBS. And Collision is going to be taped as well. So we're seeing that taped on Saturday before All In on Sunday at 1 p.m. on pay-per-view. We should probably go to like 6. So from 3 to 6, All In versus, All In and Heatwave are going to be going at it. Like, well, I'm going to be here, that way, So we're watching like 2 pay-per-views at the same time, beginning at 3 p.m. So, going to be a pretty interesting Saturday. And we also got the Triple R pay-per-view, Oro de Calor, at 12 on YouTube. I don't know how long that's going. I'm probably going to watch I think it's going to be an hour. Maybe 2 hours, but I'm probably going to watch only the first hour. But we got that, but it's a good lead into All In. And then All In from 1 to 5, 6 o'clock. And then don't forget Heatwave at 3 on the CW11. Like it is right now. So we got that. Oh, Dion's kind of, I don't know what he's doing. He's putting the chair in the cage like a bridge chair. That's interesting. Never seen that before in a cage where you bridge the chair in the cage. And it fell anyway. Good job! I was like, you botched that, really? Come on, man. Gotta get some stickum. And we got that. Alright, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace, bitches.